There is no plight. There is no fight. So they just have to make stuff up. Jennifer Lawrence is back in the news after her latest feminist, I guess you could call them ramblings, incoherent ramblings, which brings us to Hollywood Minute. And we have Carrie Lake coming on in a bit, just to be clear. An actual strong woman.
Yes.
Jennifer Lawrence, not so much. So watch this clip where she complains about her plight. See if you can spot the stupid.
I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't work. We were told. Girls and boys can both identify.
I don't even want to watch the rest of that. Yeah. I don't. If you have kids, I'm in a bad mood. So don't be in the room. I don't even want to watch the rest of that shit.
It's going to be spicy.
There haven't been, and it's not just that she just says something that's absolutely insane. It's that the person interviewing her doesn't responds with yes, as opposed to what? There have been no females in action roles? Okay, this is the issue with feminism right now, with third wave feminism, or whatever wave we're on right now. I have no idea. This unholy amalgamate. There is no plight. There is no fight. So they just have to make stuff up. Like, there have been no female action stars. Oh, yeah, it's true. I never thought of it. You never thought of it because it's not true. Let's go through them. Aliens, one of the highest grossing films of all time. Red Sonja, Resident Evil, Tomb Raider, Underworld, Kill Bill, Charlie's Angels, plural. The crazy looking bitch from The Fifth Element, Planet Terror, Twister, Foxy Brown, who, by the way, of course, they don't mention women of color, who is an actual trailblazer. And not to mention the little overlooked fact that unquestionably, the greatest action film of all time had one of the strongest badass female leads, Terminator 2, Sarah Connor. And by the way, The Hunger Games is just a remake of the Japanese film Battle Royale. That film is like Hunger Games, but good. They have to fabricate slights to make themselves relevant, which is the same stuff you're going to hear with Brittany Griner today. I didn't have anyone to look up to in action films. That'd be like LeBron saying that I felt that I needed to be a successful black player in the NBA so there could be boys who could look up to someone who looked like them.
How self-important do you have to be to really think that you're the trailblazer in, what was it, 2012 that the Hunger Games came out? I don't even remember. I mean, 10 years ago or so. 25, 30 years after other movies came out with very strong lead roles played by women. And by the way, you know what they did? They did a good job, especially with Sarah Connor. They showed her as very strong, but they also showed her as a woman.
Yes.
They didn't act like she didn't have an emotional side where she had to kind of rein that in so she didn't kill a family of people, right?
And here's the thing. It was within the, and I'm using this term loosely, okay? When I say realistic, just go with me here. I understand that it's a film about a robot traveling through time. But what I am saying is that there was some level of realism in that this was a woman who had been driven to madness, Sarah Connor. Yeah. And so she was incredibly disciplined, right? She was military-like in her efficiency. She got herself not only as strong, but as mentally capable as possible. And she learned to outsmart the Terminator along with the mechanical advantage of guns. One of the most successful action films of all time. You know when it started sucking? When they tried to create the Terminator as a woman. It doesn't work, because what happens is Arnold was big. He was Mr. Limpy, right? They brought him in because it's this big robot, obviously. And then they just say, let's have a smaller robot that couldn't have as efficient hydraulics. Aren't you scared of the new female Terminator? No! Sarah Connor was a badass. Arnold was a badass as the robot, and the female robot sucked.
It's absolutely true. And by the way, do you know what didn't happen with Sarah Connor? She didn't do like the leg kicky thing and pin somebody up against the wall like in Atomic Blonde. That didn't happen. She used
a shotgun
or the broomstick to club a guy in the face.
And then they froze T1000, T2000, T1000. They froze him and then blew him up with a nice little cliffhanger there, but we didn't bring him back because we had to replace him with a bitch. 15 years later. You're like, why isn't it working? Take a guess, sweetheart.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.